In this video, I'm going to be giving you my advice on how to travel Croatia based on my recent adventures in this amazing country, in this ultimate how to travel Croatia travel guide. Let's just jump straight to it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video here on my YouTube channel. And for those of you that are new around here and don't know who I am, my name's Aaron and I create travel, photography and videography based content just like this one. So if that is something that will interest you, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But as I said, I'm going to be discussing how you can travel Croatia based on my experience of traveling the amazing country itself earlier this year. So to start your trip, the best option is to either travel from north to south or south to north. And for the example in this video, I'm going to be doing from south to north, starting in Dubrovnik and working our way up to the capital of Zagreb. Now there's cheap flights into Dubrovnik using budget airlines in Europe like EasyJet and Ryanair. So if you do want a very cheap flight and you are coming from Europe, then those are the best options to do so. When you arrive in Dubrovnik, you'll obviously arrive in the airport and you want to get to the old town to experience what that has to offer. And the best option is shuttle bus. There are numerous other options like taxis and just regular buses, but the best option is the shuttle bus. It's 40 Croatian kuna, and I'm going to have a conversion rate on screen right now, which you can refer to all video. It will also be down in the description. You can also get a return for 70 Croatian kuna. So obviously if you are beginning and ending your trip in Dubrovnik, then that could be a good option for you. Now Dubrovnik unfortunately was the only place in this guide that I'm going to be giving you that I did not visit. I do plan to visit the place very shortly, but I just couldn't quite get down there based on the time constraints. But the main things to do in Dubrovnik are obviously experience the old town. You will get a real feel for what Croatia is all about, just walking the streets of Dubrovnik, and then obviously checking out a lot of the Game of Thrones stuff, because Game of Thrones was heavily filmed in Dubrovnik. And then one of the other key things that you can go and do is visit Lokrum Island, which is just off the coast of Dubrovnik. That will give you an excellent day trip. It's an isolated island, which I believe you cannot actually stay on. You can only visit because there is no accommodation there, so that is an excellent thing to do if you are in Dubrovnik. Now in terms of getting around cities, the best option, this applies to every place that I'm going to be mentioning in this video, is to get a bus, as they are regularly available and run often. And the best place to get information on all the buses are your hostels, as they will literally give you a map of wherever you are. This applies to all cities, as I said, and they will literally show you the route that you need to take, what the bus number is and exactly how much it is. And it's very cheap to travel in Croatia, which I will get onto a bit later in this video. Or obviously the other best option is to hire a car. Obviously, if that's the thing that you want to do, road trips in Croatia are absolutely great. But if you are traveling using buses, that is the best option. Obviously, trains are available, but they are not widely available within Croatia. They only tend to travel within cities. Taxis are obviously available, but they will be expensive. Uber is the best option, and whilst it's a bit frowned upon by the locals, it's just the best for you as a traveler. And bike rental is a heavy, highly rated thing in Croatia. So if you do want to rent a bike, there are options everywhere in Croatia, and it's an excellent method of transport to do so. Now once you're finished in Dubrovnik, you want to move up the coast towards Split, one of my best places in Croatia. And the best method of doing that is, as I said, using a bus. Now that's mainly because trains aren't regularly available. If trains were available quite often, then that might be the best option. Flights are very expensive, and ferries are also an option, which is a great way to just see some of the coast, but they are a lot slower. So my best recommendations for buses are using websites like Flixbus, GetByBus and Bus Croatia, which will all be on screen right now, along with the best bus company, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because it is Croatian and I will get it completely wrong, but it will be on screen right now for you guys. They are the best company, the highest rated, and the service is absolutely out of this world. The best method to actually get your tickets whilst you can browse online is to actually get them at the bus terminal. I got some tickets online, but it's nothing better than getting the tickets in the terminal, because then you can actually ask exactly what platform you need to be on and they will give you all the help you need. Whereas if you check out the video that is linked on screen right now, you'll realize that I actually missed a bus purely because I booked it online and I had no idea where I was going, or more to the point, they actually went to the wrong platform. But let's just move on to what you can do in Split. In Split, I recommend actually spending one day in Split itself and just explore what the city has to offer. Explore the old town, go up the bell tower, and just check out some of the very narrow roads, narrow streets that you can just walk and just get completely lost in. And also go and check out the park, which is on screen right now. I'll show you some B-roll and stuff like that. It was absolutely amazing. The hike up there is quite challenging, but it is well worth it when you get up there. Now, once you've actually finished exploring Split, there's 3 day trips that I recommend you can do, and you can either use them as day trips and travel back to Split and stay there, or you can actually stay on the islands themselves. So you can go and visit Brač, Hvar and Vis. They are some of the best islands in Croatia. They're very relaxing, and they do actually have a good nightlife if you want to do that type of thing. But the beaches are out of this world, so if you do want beaches, go and check out them 3 islands just off the coast of Split. Only a couple of hours on the boat, and they're just 3 days completely sorted, and you'll have the best time ever just exploring some of the amazing things that them islands have to offer. The best way to actually get to them islands is by ferry, and again, the ferry company is going to be on screen right now. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this one either, but the best method of doing that is just go to the ferry port, and there'll be a kiosk with their name all over it. They're the cheapest tickets. You can actually check out the online timetables, so you have a rough idea of when ferries are actually running, and then you can just go and get your ticket in person. They give you the best rates, and they speak very, very good English, which is always helpful. So go and check out some of them islands whilst you're in Split. Now, once you're finished in Split, you want to catch a bus to Zadar. Now, this is approximately 3 hours. The bus station is about 30 minutes walk from where you actually get dropped off to Zadar Old Town to Dubai. Then in mind, if you want to get an Uber or some other type of transport, whether you want to catch a local bus, just do bear in mind it is a 30-minute walk. So if you do have a backpack, it's a bit challenging, especially in the heat in Croatia. But my recommendation is to spend 1 day exploring the Old Town, like the tower, the forum, the sunset of Zadar is well known, it's world renowned, so do try and check that out. Check out the sea organ and just check out everything that Zadar has to offer, because just like Dubrovnik, you can really get a good vibe of what Croatia is all about just by checking out the actual city itself. And then there's a couple of day trips which are possible, which I didn't actually do, but you can go to Dugi Otok Island, I'm not too sure if I've got that right, Pag and Rab Islands. Now, the main day trip, aside from them ones that I've just mentioned to the islands, is to go and visit Kirka National Park. You get the bus to Skradrin, which is about an hour and a half bus, and you get the bus, then you can book your ticket, but you will need a full day. So I recommend booking your bus ticket when you get to the bus terminal, book your ticket for Kirka National Park when you actually get to the park itself, because you do get the best rates, but you do need to get the first bus. I actually got up at about 7 o'clock in the morning to make sure I was on the 8 o'clock bus, so I had the full day to explore Kirka National Park, because as I said, you will need to do so. It's the best place in Croatia in my opinion, so do make sure you visit this place whilst you're in Croatia. Once you're done exploring Zadar and everything that it has to offer, I recommend to get the bus to Pula and go to Plitvice Lakes and actually stay the night if you can. Now, once again, I didn't actually get to Plitvice Lakes, but this is definitely a place I will visit in the future. I wanted to go there, but once again, purely due to time constraints, I didn't actually get there, but it's kind of en route to Pula. So if you leave in the morning from Zadar, arrive in the afternoon, spend the whole day exploring, and then you can stay overnight and then head to Pula the following day, because if you don't, the bus to Pula is quite a long journey. So breaking it up overnight is a great thing to do. I actually just took the straight bus and it was 7.5 hours. It was probably one of the worst buses I've ever taken, and I wish I did break it up. Another great option if you don't want to visit Plitvice Lakes is to actually fly. Flying to Pula from Zadar is actually only about £5 or £10 more expensive than taking the bus, so it's something that you definitely need to consider. If you're on a very tight budget, then obviously stick to the bus, but if you have a spare £5 or £10, just pay for the flight. The flight is only an hour compared to 7 hours on the bus. You'll thank me in the long run if you do that option. Now, my recommendation is to explore Pula and everything around Pula for 2 days. There's some excellent things to do, like go and check out the Pula Arena and just the whole city of Pula. You've got some really, really nice lookout points. They have the Dancing Lights Festival kind of thing, where basically these cranes light up at night. That's really, really cool to go and check out. That happens at 9 o'clock and then afterwards. And there's some really cool places which will be on screen right now, which you can check out, which are kind of in Pula but a bit outside the centre, maybe 15 to 20 minutes outside of Pula centre in an Uber, but they're great things to go and do. So if you are in Pula, I do recommend spending 2 days there just to check everything out and the surrounding places. And then once you're done in Pula, you want to get the bus to Zagreb, which is the capital city of Croatia, which is where you will be ending the trip. And I recommend only spending one day in Zagreb because it is a proper city. There's no beaches, anything like that. It is literally a city. You can just check out some of the things that they have to offer, like some of the football stadiums, and they actually have a zoo there, which is surprisingly quite cool to do. I actually went to see the zoo in Zagreb. It's not one of the things I would recommend doing on a holiday, but it was actually quite surprisingly good. Just bear in mind it does get very, very warm in Croatia, so if you are checking out the zoo, make sure you do actually go with plenty of fluids because you will be outdoors for a long period of time. Now, there are more places to check out in Croatia without a doubt, and obviously you will see others listed elsewhere, but those are my top tips based on the places that I went and visit. I'm just going to give you a few more key tips that you need to bear in mind when you're visiting Croatia. Now, as I mentioned, it does get very warm, so the best time to visit is during the summer months from June to August. It's very, very warm, very little rain, but the only downside, it is very populated. So consider going in May and September because the weather is still excellent and it is less crowded. In terms of safety and security, it's a very, very safe country. There's a little crime rate involving tourists and the locals are very, very helpful and very honest people. There's high security in airports and borders, so that's just very, very reassuring for anyone traveling to Croatia. It's one of the most safe countries I believe I've traveled to. In terms of accommodation, hostels are actually super modern and very large. I've slept in dorms of about 32 to 40 people in Croatia, and they're also super cheap. Summertime, it was about £10 to £15 per night. And then in the shoulder months, which is May and September, you're looking at £5 to £10 a night, so great value for money. Hotels are also widely available, but they are often luxury and quite expensive, so if you are a backpacker, I would stick to hostels. Now, in terms of banking and security, the best way to exchange money is to actually do it over there and withdraw money using your bank card from an ATM, and just use the option of accepting without conversion, which means your bank will actually give you the conversion rate rather than getting tricked into having a rubbish exchange rate by the actual ATM itself. So that is the best option for getting Croatian kuna. And then in terms of food and drink, there is a lot of seafood. There's a place called Tommy Markets, which is great. There's spas everywhere, so if you're from the UK or anywhere in Europe, you do know what a spa is. Pizzas and bakeries are all over the place, so if you like that type of food, you cannot go wrong. And meals are incredibly cheap. You can get a meal and a drink for about £10. Pizza slices are about 15 kuna, a baguette is about 8 kuna, and a large bottle of water, a 2-litre bottle of water, is 5 kuna. So traveling Croatia is very cheap, very affordable, and it's one of the nicest places in Europe. But that is all for this Croatia travel guide. If you did find this video useful at any point, be sure to let me know by leaving a like. I hope some of you guys are inspired to go and check out this amazing country. Check out the linked playlist down below in the description, which is my Croatia travel vlog series. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. But thank you all for watching, guys. Till next time, goodbye.